Blessings to you out there on YouTube and on Facebook. Blessings to you and your family last night. I hope you didn't get a phone call last night that anyone was hurt, sick, or in trouble. And you woke up this morning in your right mind. Let's give the Lord a hand clap this morning, a clap offering this morning, because we got up in our right mind this morning. Somebody got up this morning. The wife looked over and said, Georgia, are you all right? And he looked up at his wife and said, Marlena, I'm fine. She said, my name is not Marlena. Marlena is your daughter. I'm your wife, honey. He didn't know his wife. He wasn't in his right mind. So today we're going to talk about some very serious things that I'm hearing in the atmosphere, and also I'm hearing what people are saying about there's certain things in the Bible they just don't believe. And I want to clear some stuff up, and I want to go directly at that point and go directly at people that say that it's really serious stuff when you say you don't believe certain things in the Bible, especially if you know God put it in there. So we can do a lot of, for instance, I want to let people know that it's a lot of stuff that we use that we know nothing about, but we use it. We go to it and we use it. You go to work every day with the expectation that on Friday you're going to work Monday through Friday and get your check. But you don't know that. You have faith that that's going to happen, because you could say I'm going to get my money, but that company on Friday could be gone. Or they can just tell you through an email or through a text or through a note on the fence that this company is closed and moved. Sorry about your money. So you do a lot of stuff. You married that woman, you married that man with the expectations that it's going to work. You didn't know nothing about it. You don't know nothing about them. You didn't know about their cousin. You don't know about the Uncle George that's going to ask you for $40 every time you see him. The mother-in-law that always in y'all business. You didn't know none of that. Children clowning. You didn't know none of that. But you dove into that relationship. You went after that woman. Now you see what you're in. Don't look straight ahead. Don't look at them. Now you wishing yourself to yourself. Say, Lord, I wish I had knew. Ooh, I wish I had knew them before I got married. Just keep looking straight ahead. Don't look at them if y'all both watching this. Just keep looking straight. Look crazy like you don't know what I'm talking about. Just look crazy. So we do a lot of things and we use a lot of things. We go a lot of places that we don't know. We don't know what's going to jump off when we go to a party. We don't know what's going to jump off when we go to the casino. We don't know what's going to jump off when we go to the bingo. We don't know what's going to jump off when you go to church. You just going. And this is what God is trying to tell us in a lot of scriptures and a lot of parables, that he's God. We don't have time to question him. Then he talks about a scripture in the Bible, and he talks about pride. You can look that up, the word pride. He hates people that's prideful. And when you tell God that you don't believe something, you have to be careful, because you put your sandwich in that microwave the other day. You didn't question that microwave. You didn't call the company that is made and say, look, I don't know this. How does this microwave work? I don't believe this microwave, but it works. It do what it's supposed to do, because it's designed to warm your food up. But you don't have an idea how it works. And if I took it apart and put it all in front of you with in the instructions and a soldering iron, you couldn't put it back together. So how do we question God? You jump in your car every day and you never say, well, I don't know how that car works. I ain't gonna get in it. You get in it and turn the key on and you go and drive. That's how you do it. You use it and you don't know nothing about it. So that's how we have to do God. You're too small to know about God. In the Bible he talked to Job about, Job was saying how much he know, and God had to shoot him down and tell him you don't know anything. You don't know why the dew fall on the grass in fall. He went to telling Job all that. So you have to be careful when you tell out aloud out of your mouth what you don't believe about God, because God could say that about you. Well, I am not going to believe you're going to get that job. I'm not going to believe your marriage is going to work. I'm not going to believe your children are going to be saved. I'm not going to believe that you're going to be saved. I'm not going to believe your health going to be good. What if God did us like we did him? You don't believe in him, he don't believe in you. But God believes in us whether you believe in him or not. And anything that's in the Bible, you must believe that God said it, and that's what you have to use. And most of the things I hear about how did God walk on water? Jesus walked on water, and Peter came out walking on water too. But you have to search these things out because it's a faith thing. Abraham actually didn't kill his son. It was a faith. It was a parable. It was letting us know, taking us to the full extreme that would you do it? Would you look at your children? You got a little baby? You got a little baby boy, about 8, 9. Would you sacrifice him? Would you put him on your kitchen table with a butcher knife and raise that butcher out to kill him if God told you? Well, it was a faith. You have to study it. And this is why the scriptures say, and you can quote me on that I would like to give you meat, but I have to continue to give you milk. You're still an infant. And this is what the worldly people is. And the Christian people, I'm not talking about people that go to church and do praise and worship and then go in the parking lot and cuss. I'm not talking about people that go to church and come out of the church and talk about the pastor and the pastor's wife and his kids. I'm talking about blood washed, Crips and Bloods sold out by Jesus Christ, God himself, to be a change in a person's life where people can see you're changing. That's the people that steps into what he talked about, the 7 gifts, the gifts. It starts off with love, peace, joy, happiness, forgiveness, patience. All of them is the gifts. You have to operate in them. So this is why we have to be careful on YouTube and Facebook trying to explain to people that really don't have a relationship with God. Because going to church on Sunday does not mean that you have a relationship with God. Saying your prayer when you're eating a steak and potatoes and a salad don't mean you have a relationship with God. You must go to Bible study. You must seek out God, like you seeking out the drugs when you was on it, like you seeking out after that woman, like you seeking out after that man, after you seeking out going to school, seeking after losing weight. Whatever you're doing, you have to seek God the same way. The bingo hall, the casino, putting numbers in, making sure you do that every day. You have to make sure you do the same with God, because you're not going to obtain the knowledge that you need to believe the Bible if you don't study it. God gives you a peace that passes all understanding when you believe the word of God. One of the things a lot of people talk about, they don't believe in speaking in tongues. And a lot of people ask me in this 11 years of Pastor, what is tongues? And what I wanted to do today, I don't play with God. When I go into speaking in tongues, I want to tap away from people and the devil. That's what speaking in tongues is. And I want to give you some for instance, but I do want to make clear that I'm not playing when I do this, because I feel this when I do this. Because I ask God to have the interpretation of my tongues when I speak it, if there's nobody to prophesize interpretation or a person that interprets what I say when I say it. So for instance, if I say, Hadada Boshanda, now you guys didn't know what I said, but to me, I said, bless you too in Facebook. Bless the people out there. Hadada Boshanda. I said that in my spirit, in my mind, before you guys knew I was going to say it. I directed that straight to God, not to man, not you guys. So that means that you didn't understand what I was saying, and the devil didn't either. It's sort of like I whispered to God, God, I want my mom to be blessed. I want my children to be saved. So I did that to God. When you whisper, you do that so don't nobody else hear you but the person you telling. So that's what speaking in the unknown tongues. It says speaking in the spirit. So if I was speaking in my church and I would tell my church, okay, church, let's speak in the spirit or the unknown tongues. So everybody would start off. See, I can't keep doing that because I start feeling I feel feeling what the Bible talks, that he gives you the utter, and he start opening up things in your life that you want to change by you have an it says when you speak in tongues, you are talking to him by divine supernatural means. Write that down. A divine supernatural means. That's when your mama is dying and you need to tap away from friends and church people. I don't need to be cute praying. I don't need to be talking to people like I got a doctor in this. No, I need to really cry out because mama died. I'm really crying out because my children is sick. I'm really crying out because my mama got this disease. I'm really crying out. So sometimes I've heard people cry so hard and so hurt that they be mumbling like, where they really don't know it, but they're speaking in the unknown tongues. If they knew that prayer, that cry, that hurt that's going on, if you send that up there to God, he hears that. It's a direct line to him. Don't put me on hold. I don't need nobody else to pray for me. I need a direct line with God, if that makes sense. That's what's speaking in the unknown tongues. Now, to explain it, if a person in church starts speaking in the unknown tongue, let me give you for instance again. I'm trying to get through this because there's nothing to play with, because it's just that serious. And the reason I know this work, because believe me, in my 11 years of pastoring, out of the people that I've buried, and not only a lot of people, including my own wife and friends and family members, I've watched miracles happen with my life. The deliverance that God gave in my life. My business is how they being successful. The people in my church is being blessed. I'm blessed. My health is good. I'm not nothing to complain about. I don't dislike anyone. You have to step in the gifts and ask God for the gifts of the interpretation. That's prophecy. You have to ask for the gifts of the healing of hands. You have to ask God for the help of the tongues. And God will give that gift to you if that's what he wants you to have. So let me read this in your hearing, because I want to go to the scripture so I can sort of help you again on this. Listen, but I do want to make this clear. There's so much in the Bible. When I was first coming into this and I got married, my wife had Bible study, and we got back home, and I don't understand that stuff about I'm Jesus' bride. I ain't no woman. But you got to understand, you got to study to show yourself to prove what that means. That means that Jesus Christ, God himself, love you so much. Like if I'm the husband and my bride, I take care of her. I got you. When the doorbell ring is a knock on the door at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm the one getting up. And this is what God is saying, Jesus Christ, the love that I have for you, you are my bride. I got you. So I had to tap my mind out of thinking about, I'm not no woman. I can't be no bride. And then wife was telling me, she said, well, we got to pay our tithes. I said, I ain't giving them old preachers no money. All they want is money. I said that like people be saying that now. But if you don't study that pastor need money to make the church go around. Because if you go there and it's 90 degrees outside, and it's 105 inside of the building, you're a fan, and you're not going to go to that church no more because we're too soft. We're not like the churches was years ago. They had church outside. Bees and flies and gnats and mosquitoes, and it was hot out there. They got their fans, and they was praising the Lord. So let me read this in your hearing, so can it help my baby saints or my not seasoned saints know that tongues is very important to put in your life. And if God said it, God, it's in there. It means it, and he means it. It says we're in 1 Corinthians chapter 14. Let's read 1 through 5. This is in the NIV. It says, follow the way of love. That's the starting. He's giving you instruction. And earnestly desires the gifts of the Spirit. Believe that. Especially prophesy. People do know what's going to happen. For anyone who speak in a tongue, do not speak to people, right? To people. Do not speak to people. Write that down. But to God. Write that down. But to God. Indeed, no one understands them. They utter mysteries. Okay, right there. That's when you want to tap away from people. See, we as people, church folks, first, I want to tell you, sometimes we talk too much. And sometimes you can't tell everybody, oh, you're all your business. I don't care if it's an illness. Everybody's not going to pray for you, and everybody don't like you. So your whole job, knowing what's going on in your personal life, I wouldn't do that. The Bible said, what you do secretly, I bless you and openly. So here we go. He said, what you do secretly. Okay, what I said in my spirit, Lord, help my mother. You didn't know what I said, but I directed that to God. That ain't your business, because it says it in the scripture. This is why it's so important, because you that don't believe in this, I'm telling you, life can hit you so hard. Look at your husband, look at your wife, look at your children, look at your vehicles, look at your home, look at what you have, look at your health. All of that is the divine grace that you have through the grace of God, Jesus Christ, who gave that seemed fit in your life, that you shouldn't be under no bridge. You shouldn't be fighting with no cancer. If that's you and you're doing really good and nothing's wrong with you, you better start thanking God and believe this whole Bible. He said, don't add or don't take away from this Bible. So in other words, you can't be proud or big enough to say what you don't believe in this Bible till you study it out. Study it out like you studied that raggedy woman you went after. Study it out like you chasing that raggedy man of yours. Study it out like you've been chasing them drugs in your life. Study God out, Jesus Christ, like you've been after selling them drugs like you do. Search it out like you steal them clothes out of the Walmart. I'm clothes out of Walmart. J.C. Penney and food out of Walmart. I'm getting close to you. Study out what you do know. What you do know, you'll go for it. You'll go for it. So you know what you want to do when you go in that liquor store. You know what's in there. You know, so you have to be the same way after God instead of having an opinion about what you don't believe what the Bible says. Let me finish reading this in your hearing, if that made sense. It said, follow the ways of love, earnestly desire gifts of the Spirit, especially prophecy. For anyone that speaks in tongues, do not speak to people, but to God. Indeed, no one understands them. They utter up mysteries by the Spirit. But the one who prophesies speak to people for their understanding, encouraging, and comfort. Anyone who speak in the tongues edify themselves. Edify themselves. That's why it's so important that you speak in the tongues, because it edifies themselves. But anyone who prophesies edifies the church. Now let me explain that right there. But the one that prophesies edifies the church. So if I'm at church and I've heard this, seen this, and you probably have seen it. Let me do it, and I'm going to do an example. But I'm not playing with this, because when I do this, I really feel this, because God know I'm not playing, but I'm trying to give an example. So I'm trying to give you an example of this. If somebody would be in church and they praying, oh, God, help me, and my mother's been going through this, I've been in, and all of a sudden you hear them say, oh, I start feeling that thing. So what I was praying in my spirit, Lord, help the world. Help what's going on. The fires, the tornadoes, what we got going on with COVID, Lord. Just help us. So I went into that explaining what I was saying in my spirit, uttering up to God. The divine supernatural means I left people and went directly to God, if that makes sense. Okay, let's go back here. It said, but the one who prophesies speaks to people for the strengthening and encouragement and comfort. Anyone who speaks in tongues edifies themselves, but the one who prophesies edifies the church. So after they speak in tongues that long, if they don't come back and say, thus say the Lord, would my people turn from their wicked ways and seek my face? That's the way somebody that's either they need to do it, that spoke in tongue that long, or they're supposed to be someone that prophecy, someone out in the audience or in the church that would stand up and would prophesy or tell what they were saying while they were speaking in tongues, because the Bible clearly states that why do that if the audience don't know what you're saying? I would rather for you to speak in your common language so the people would know what you're saying. So that's why God don't play around with being out of order. When you see that in the church and they're doing that like that, that is out of order, because there's no interpreter. And the Bible still clearly states that. Now watch this. Verse 4. Anyone who speaks in the tongues edify themselves, but the one who prophesies edifies the church. Watch this. I would like everyone of you to speak in tongues. That's what God said. I would like every one of you to speak in tongues, but I would rather have you prophesy. The one who prophesies is greater than the one who speaks in tongues. Now, here's what I ask for. Unless someone interprets so the church may be edified. So I edify my own self. I edify my own self by speaking in tongues, but when I want to speak in long tongue to my church, whatever I may say, then I'm going to let my church know what I said. I want you all to start praying and fasting more. Whatever I may have said in tongues, I'll come out of my mouth as the pastor and asking of the gift of prophesied of interpret of my own tongue. I know what I said. But I still need to be direct divine with God, if that make any sense. I hope this made any sense. I tried to give it to you the best I can. That's why it's so important for people that don't go to church much, that have questions and don't understand. You must find a good local church and a good Bible study class that can help you go to another level with this. And then the Bible clearly states, study to show yourself approved. Don't say something before you really don't know whether you're telling the truth or not. Everything in the Bible seems funny. Even from the beginning, when God took out of the dirt and made Adam and blew in his nostril, and here come man. That's hard to believe. Let's talk about Mary that was impregnated by the Spirit of God and not no man. That seems hard to believe. Let's talk about Noah built an ark 3 football fields long. And then let's go deeper. Then God had where every animal came 2 by 2. You can't get 2 puppies to be in the same line, male and female, and go down the same way. Them animals went together. Male chicken, female chicken. Male goat, female goat. I'm going somewhere. Male dog, female dog. Female dog, male dog. Did I say that already? Female cat, male cat. Male rabbit, female rabbit. God, that's hard to believe. Said that jackass talked to the man that was riding him. That seemed hard to believe. Said that Samson had the strength in his hair. That seems hard to believe. The Hebrew boys was threw in the fire. That seemed hard. It said that they didn't even smell like smoke when they came out of there. So all the stuff and all the parables that get in the Bible makes you be mysteries. And if you can't obtain the mysteries of the Bible and believe in the mystery, Old Testament, New Testament, not throwing either way to them Bibles away or either way to any one of them books away, and believe in the whole Bible, you have to believe the whole scroll. You have to believe the whole Bible to obtain the knowledge that God want to give you about all these questions that you don't believe. So I hope that I help you out on speaking in tongues. Everyone should be doing or learn how to do it or ask God for it. It's a gift. It really is. It helps you get to God instead of him putting you on hold. You have a lot of people that say, I've been waiting on God to show up. No, God waiting on you. You ain't waiting on God. God is waiting on you. So this speaking in tongues give you a direct line to God, if that make any sense. Well, I hope I help you. I don't know it all either. I'm learning too. I didn't come get no Bible scholar in pastoring. I came off the streets trying to change my life. God blessed me with a beautiful woman to help direct me in my life. Also with a sister before that, a mom before that, a grandmama before that. So all that helped me in my life. And so I hope that I help you out there on Facebook and on YouTube. And listen, if you don't believe something, study to show yourself approved, because people can't give you heaven or hell. Only God himself, Jesus Christ, can. So I love you all. Be blessed out there. Go to a Bible study and get more knowledge of Jesus Christ. I love you all. Be blessed. And remember this. If you work this Bible and work it right, I definitely see you on top. I love you all.